Welcome to another episode of Puro Pinche Sports. I'm your host, Jose Garza, and tonight I am joined by my awesome co-host, humble hater James, and the professor Alex. How y'all doing tonight, guys?
Man, what's good? Feels good to be back.
It's it's a pretty good day, I guess.
Oh my
Any
goodness,
day's, any day's a good day when you're alive.
that's
Every day is a
true.
good day.
It's not a good day for Florida State people, but other than that, it's a good day, as you said, Alex. Man, we have so much to cover about football right now. I mean, we could talk some basketball since it's just three of us and we got a little more, space to talk. So, I mean, there's so much craziness going on. You know what, James? Since you're back, I know I had a rundown and everything, but is there something you want to start with right now? Is there anything you want to like kick things off with? To start the
I
pod?
just personally want to apologize to Dakota Prescott for shaming him, and I want to thank him for his amazing bounce back these past couple of weeks. I just pray we continue this streak, get this stuff rolling. He's playing at a high level. Um, Man, the Eagles struggle bus. Brock Purdy MVP in my eyes. In my eyes, Brock Purdy right there. Him and Dak Prescott neck and neck. I can't put one above the other, but they're neck and neck. Like Brock Purdy is playing. He's playing great football. Like you gotta give him his props. Hey, without him, they struggle. With them, they're rolling. You know what I mean? Let's see. It's a bad year for quarterbacks. It's Trevor Lawrence dodged a huge bullet. Um, Man, where else to start?
I don't know, James. You came up with like four different things, bro. Like stick to one, vato. Like, come
I'm
on.
just saying. I'm just spitballing right now. I'm just putting it all out there. That's just what That's what's on my head right now. So it's. I'm loving football right now. Respectfully, I'm not even paying attention to basketball outside of Ime Udoka disrespecting the goat like that.
I mean, just to knock it out the way, just talk about that real quick. Like, how do you feel? I mean, you said disrespect. I know there's some people in our group chat that wanted to really talk about it. So why don't you
Yeah.
start with it?
I look at it this way, man. It's certain stuff you say to people, and me being a basketball player myself, it's a silver lining. So it's like certain things you say, you can it's basketball. It just you leave it on the court, you say it on the court, you walk off the court, you cool with whoever you was playing with. It's no disrespect taken, but it's a fine line for man to man for me to disrespect you and call you out of your name. Like you don't call nobody soft. You don't call, especially a black man, you don't call him a boy, and then no man, period, should let another man call him a bitch. That's off a general principle, and that's kind of where you draw the line at. Complaining about the fouls, I understand him. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers do they flop a lot, not just LeBron, but as a team themselves, they do. So I can, hey, stop crying about fouls, stop being weak. You can say shit like that. You don't call nobody soft, like especially grown ass men. You know, respectfully. So that's why I feel like it was taken. But I feel like you just leave it on the court, and I feel like Ime Udoka, him and LeBron talking, it should have been left there. I don't think the referee should have been in that conversation, but for him to be right there and listen to what was said, it kind of sucks that he was ejected. Um, but it's like kind of like Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp shit. You already know it's a trigger word for LeBron. Like it was when he played the Warriors in the finals, the whole Klay Thompson and Draymond situation. It was already provoked there, so that's kind of what gets under his skin. So if I'm him, I'm feeling the same type of way. Like you're not gonna disrespect me like that. Like you can, and then one, I'm gonna take it from my team, even if he wasn't calling, you know LeBron soft and saying the team was soft. It's just like I'm gonna stick up for my players regardless. You know what I mean? That's how I am. I'm on the court. I'm gonna stick up for whatever other four that I'm playing with and whatever other 9 or 10 that are on the bench. I'm taking up for my teammates. That's just how I was raised. So
Yeah,
that's my thoughts on the situation.
Alex, you have a rebuttal? How do you feel about the whole situation with Ime Udoka, saying shit like that on the court?
I guess I'm not the only one that called them a bitch, right? A couple of weeks back, but no, I mean, yeah, I think that stuff when it comes to like playing basketball, especially with a high competitor. Udoka's not fucking playing, so like, why would you even add more fuel to that fire and basically, um, you know, you're gonna trigger LeBron and he could put up 40 or 50 next time you see him, and that was just the ultimate trigger for LeBron. Other than that, man, I mean, I can't really get mad at LeBron calling for fouls because MJ did it. The greats have always done it. Tom Brady used to do it, calling for fouls. And I don't know. It's just, I wasn't really.
Who's on a text thread right now?
That's not me.
James, are you in a text thread?
No, well, yeah. my Facebook is going off like for this franchise thing that I'm in, but
I can hear it, bro. We can hear the shit. Like
I know, I just turned it down right now.
All right, go ahead, Alex.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not really big fan of that trash talking. I mean, I'm not that type of player that talks shit like that. I mean, I usually let your game speak for itself. LeBron's always done that. LeBron don't really be talking and shit. Like James said, Klay Thompson started talking shit to LeBron, and he went off. So yeah, just leave it at that.
Klay talks a lot. To be fair, Klay talks a lot.
He really don't say it. He really don't say a lot. He just put up 4 fingers all the time.
He says things in press conferences. Like he says like little like shady shit. Like he
throws his slugs a lot.
Yeah. But no, I mean, what I feel about it is like more like how y'all felt about it. It's like, dude, you're not playing right now, and even when you played, no offense, Ime, like I know you did great things for us in the sidelines for the Spurs, but you weren't really all that great when you were in the league. I don't even think many people I don't even think many people remember you, bro. Like respectfully, like
dude, you were a great coach. You come from under a great tree. You were a decent assistant. Like you just learned under great coaching. Like you got your job.
Hell, congratulations on making it to the finals with the Celtics. I think that's a big thing. Brad Stevens couldn't do that. But come on, bro. You can't say shit because the most you ever averaged one season was 8 points. And
I mean, my thing is just like you are a great guy. You are a phenomenal coach, man. You come from under the pop tree. You did something that most coaches haven't done. Like in a short span of time, you had a nice run. It's unfortunate what you did that transpired and got leaked to the public. But whatever the case may be, bro, it's just as an athlete, bro. It's just certain things we know. It's just like the Lance Stevenson thing, like NBA G code or guy code, bro. If somebody's getting blown out, you don't go lay the ball up when the time is about to expire. That's disrespectful.
Hey, tell that to Buddy Hield to shot a 3 the other day at the end of the game for no reason.
Dude, it's just what you don't do, man. It's just certain things you don't do. And it's like, dude, that was just I just think it was uncalled for, man. I mean, it's a lot of other shit he could have said that would have just kept it between the lines. Like, but you don't. I think it's just certain stuff I wouldn't say, man. Like you gotta get me boiling till I'm up here where I'm about to black out till I'm talking to you crazy like that. Like you gotta be hella disrespectful. But if it's just a good game and we going to war and we battling back and forth, I'm not gonna call you that, bro. It's no place for it. But I can't speak for everybody, man.
We have a comment from a first-time viewer. Jeffrey Lujan says, Udoka tired of the crying. Spurs were taught not to cry because we never got the calls. Have to play through bad calls.
Oh, my God.
I wonder if he has any relation to Jeffrey D. Lujan.
Oh my God!
I'll respond first, James. Jeff, I know what the Spurs were taught, but you know what we also were taught? Flopping. Have you seen Manu? Have you seen that shit? This is what's happened in the league. A lot of it has to do with Manu, the greatest sixth man of all time. So I mean, there's a lot of things going on. And look, I guess like we said, Jeff, Ime can't talk shit. You're not playing no more. And when you played during Bron's era. you were not that good. Like, so you were a journeyman, and your best time ever was on the bench, learning from the coaches, learning how to become one, and then you advanced. And look at you now. You brought the Houston Rockets up from from a very bad team to a really good one right now. And I hope good things for them, because you know what, they have been a bad team overall since James Harden and Russell Westbrook just kind of left them hanging, with whatever. So, good for Sengun, good for the team. Dylan Brooks doing his thing. He's doing his job right as a nuisance for the team, but he's making it work. Fred VanVleet is at least helping guide these guards up. So we'll see how it goes. But enough of that. We don't really gotta talk. I don't think you need to talk more about this, James. You can go on a whole podcast about this shit, bro.
I love it though, man. I love it. Like I said, I love it for this. I love it for the game, man. I love it for the game. It really, because that game there, they were close, bro. That game was not yet. It was nowhere near finished. It was like those guys were still hanging in, and kind of after that happened and transpired, the Lakers opened up a 20-point lead, and they kept it there. So
yeah, let's move on back to some football. Alex, Eagles go on host the San Francisco 49ers. 10-1 team. They feeling really good. Went to war with the Chiefs, went to war with the Bills, have had a hard, season playing tough teams and, grinding it out. But man, they meet their match in an NFC Championship rematch, and you just saw the Niners just, press on the gas pedal, fucking shifted the fucking third gear and just fucking run over the Eagles in Philadelphia. What are your thoughts, my man, on the whole game and what's next for both teams?
Did you get my the picture on my Instagram story with the special gift on Speak with the eagle with Debo Samuel?
Yeah. Explain it to everybody.
So on Speak, Shady McCoy, whenever they get a big win, he usually brings in Slim with the Eagles jersey. And so, like, man, I don't hate the Eagles, but Shady McCoy makes you want to hate him. He makes you want to hate him. So I just, just fucking for shits and giggles, put on a cropped out a Debo Samuel jersey and I put it on the Eagle. And but no, man. At the beginning of the year, I did say the Eagles' defense was going to struggle, and
context, you also said they'd be 5-5 after week 10. So to be fair,
I think I had them at 10 wins or 9 wins this year, but yeah, I mean it showed that game that their linebacker core is really struggling right now of
talent,
like stopping the run, covering any receivers. It makes the DBs look bad, and that's why they give up one of the most passing yards in the league. I really thought that we were going to get like a back and forth battle up until the first quarter. I think 49ers had 6 plays or 6 yards, and Kyle Shanahan just opened up a fucking like a masterpiece. And then on the other part is I think Jalen Hurts had time in the pocket. He had all day, and the 49ers I thought they were locking him up for a long ass time. And
they shut the run game down. There was no run game for Philly.
And I think the 298 yards could be misleading too, because I think like 70 of those yards came like
it was junk. It was junk play in the fourth quarter. Yeah.
And I really don't know why they actually put him in the game when it was already fucking pretty much blown out. But yeah, Debo backed up his fucking talk, and they did work, man.
James, how you feel?
I'm excited. I mean, it's what I wanted. Not that I was trying to hate on the Eagles, because I want them at their best at all times. But it's what but I'm not a part of it. But it's what us fans of Dallas wanted, because you want that. You want them coming into Dallas. We already know where we stood last time. If not for the line, Dak's foot, we probably win that game. So we're past that now.
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. We're past that point. You know what I'm saying? It was a good game. I'm just hoping we can recreate what we did there at home, which we played very well at home. And, you know, for them to lose that way, it was kind of shocking because one thing I will say is you did say their run game was non-existent. I thought they never gave their run game a chance.
I could agree with that. I could agree with that, actually.
I think they kind of got away from it. And I think one thing their offensive coordinator does is lean too much into Jalen Hurts is trying to, you know, create those QB draws rather than roll through that committee of backs they got. DeAndre Swift is a very elusive back. Speed kills. Speed is what you need against the 49ers because you got Drake Greenlaw and Fred Warner, one of the most dynamic and best linebacker duos that we have in the game next to Kansas City with William Gay and Nick Bolton. That's just my opinion. I would say Alex probably has another two guys out there, but those two dudes for me, hands down, left sideline to sideline are probably the fastest two running backs you got. And so Philly did something early that I don't know if everybody caught. They played San Francisco very short. They hit them with a lot of slants, a lot of quick routes, and let their receivers get the ball in space and then move. They got away from that. I don't know. They just started shooting down the field. You know, Jalen Hurts started standing in the pocket, and he was waiting too long. Plays die out, and they couldn't get going. So it's like they put themselves in a hole, and then when they gave the ball back to San Francisco was moving. It was clockwork. Purdy was putting the ball right where everybody needed. He made I think he had a couple of miscues where he kind of missed guys and tried to hit them too late. But other than that, bro, their run game got going. They got Debo involved, which we haven't seen Debo. I don't think I've seen Debo that involved all season. Like, and I have him on my fantasy team, so I know. But, like, I haven't seen Debo that involved, and he kind of broke out. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of been the Ayuk show all year. Ayuk and Kittle back and forth. But Debo got involved. McCaffrey got going. And it was just from there. And then the defense was just dude, I don't know why the fuck the Commander Redskins let Chase Young go over there. But to have him and Nick Bosa, bro, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And I was just, I mean, Hassan Reddick on the other side was nowhere to be found. I didn't get much of Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, those boys up front. It was like they were non-existent. So it was like you have two of the best offensive lines, probably two of the best defensive lines, plus linebacking cores. And I mean, I was expecting a really close game and a shootout, but I wasn't expecting a blowout. So this is, I mean, hopefully Dallas can put foot to ass real quick and we can get going early and catch them while they kind of in the slump, you know what I mean? But I do still expect them boys to come out and ball, man. That's who they are. They're Philly. It's like they don't dwell on the past and they usually get going. So it was a really good game on San Francisco's part.
I think another thing to really expect for this game coming up, because now Sunday Night Football is going to be even bigger than usual, right? Because now the Eagles have got their second loss of the season. They hadn't really lost much this season. The only loss was a real upset against the Jets. And they got their asses whooped, right? Kind of in a similar fashion that the Cowboys got their asses whooped by the Niners. But the major difference is that this Niners team is different from that Niners team.
Oh, my God.
And it has completely to do with Chase Young. Yeah. That Chase Young trade is going to be is such a huge factor because now you create so much more openings for the entire defense. It's just ridiculous how it's hilariously ridiculous how crazy that freaking team is now. Post trade again, another year they make a trade before the trading deadline ends. Another big factor guy. Last year was CMC. Now we got Chase Young, and so I know you said earlier, Brock Purdy's MVP favorite. Dak's right up there. Those two should be the main guys in conversation, and we could really have a debate about who overall, right? Because it's entire season. But let's also state the fact too for the Eagles, they just ran a fucking gauntlet. Let's just be honest. Like, we know that they had one of the toughest schedules all year long. Yeah. Right? After the loss to the Jets, who was next? Miami. Miami was red hot. Everyone was expecting a big tight game. Eagles kind of blow them out. What's after that? Washington. We know how tough Washington plays them. It's crazy because Washington doesn't play that against the Cowboys. but with the Eagles, it's got to be back and forth. It's got to be within a 7-point game. It's got to be fucking 38-31. It's got to be.
That's true. That's true.
And then after that, they play the Cowboys, right? And then that was how we knew that was going to be a battle, and it was a battle. And what happens after that? Kansas City. That's another mentally tough game right there.
Yeah.
And you got to go and make sure Patrick Mahomes doesn't cook your ass. And then you go and play Buffalo, another game that you're down by 10. You come back, you take it to overtime, and you win. And all those gauntlets, bro, it's just going to wear you down eventually. And we knew this was going to be a tougher stretch for them. So would I be surprised if they lose on Sunday to the Cowboys? No. They're exhausted. They're fucking beat up. Their team is injured in a lot of places. I know a lot of teams are injured in a lot of places, but damn, bro, like you know, when you are the NFC champions, they're gonna come for you. And San Francisco was on a journey to make sure they came for that ass. And
I mean, but you gotta think though, they feel like, and I mean, I don't want to make assumptions. I feel like the outcome would have been different. We don't know exactly what the outcome would have been, exactly who wins, but I do feel like if Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt, that game is a lot more interesting than what transpired. It's just safe to say that.
That's the key word, though, James. Interesting. It doesn't say it's a fact that the
it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It's an assumption.
It's interesting.
It's a large assumption. It's a big what if. But I'm just saying, if that dude is healthy, we don't know how that game ends. So for them, this was a humongous statement. Because they felt like those guys took something from them. So it again, you know, at the end of the day, we would just have to wait and see. And I like you said, the Eagles have been in the gauntlet. Cowboys are running through one now. So it's like these next 3 or 4 games, you know, we got the Dolphins, we got the Bills, we got the Lions, and we have the Eagles. This is going to really show whether or not we for real, or, you know, or not. And it'll be safe to say.
And a lot of these teams are going to be battling for position, right? Like the Eagles-Cowboys game is important because they're fighting for the NFC East. The week after that, it's Buffalo. They're fighting to just get into the playoffs because they're 6-6 right now. And this week they got the Chiefs, so they have to they can't really afford a loss right now.
All these games are tough, bro. This end of the season stretch is fire. It's putting a lot out there, man. And I hope for Buffalo, it can be no easier, man. You lose Joe Burrow. You know, the Jets ain't got no quarterback. Dude, y'all got to put it together. Like, I just have to put it together. But that's another conversation.
Yeah. Alex, you have any more thoughts on Niners-Eagles?
No, I mean, we saw it. I think yesterday they picked up Leonard. I said
Shaq Leonard.
He's had a pretty down year. You know, injuries kind of hurt him, and I feel like it's just a Band-Aid. I don't think it's gonna fix what Philly was been hurting all year with a linebacker core.
Yeah, he covers one spot. He doesn't cover all the linebackers.
And I think him being there, they're gonna have to demand of him being the man. Where, like I think James said in the thread, if he were to go to Dallas, you know, he doesn't have to be the main man, and he's a rotational player. And I said too, I thought KC would have been perfect because, you know, some of their guys are gonna end up coming back. So, with him going to Philly, he has to be the man, and I think it's a little too late for that. That team's struggling at the linebacker core.
I think we also have to be fair too. What the situation is that I think for him it's familiarity, right? Because a big thing with the reason that he's not playing with the Colts much this year too, you got to remember that coaching staff is brand new. Yeah. So last year he was coming off IR, so he had his coaching staff, everything that he was working with the last couple of years is gone. Now he's working with a new one. They have a new scheme they built without him, and he was basically the man left out, and he was making a lot of money for the Colts, and for the Colts to feel confident enough to release him, that kind of tells you something. So, I mean,
and then
I hope he's a big factor for the Eagles, but I mean, I get it. It's a lot to ask, like for him and Hassan Reddick to be like, hey, carry the linebackers all the way.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know what happened to Reddick.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened to Nicole. Was Nicole Dean hurt?
Nicole Dean?
He's been on IR. He's an
Yeah.
IR.
Yeah. So
Is
yeah,
it-
you know,
But they young though, like they have a lot of young talent over there. So like Alex, I mean, kind of to allude to what he said, it's just like, dude, these guys are gonna come back. Like Shaq's not gonna stay there forever. This is like a test drive for Philly. I mean, if he shows out, he might get to extension. But I mean, like at the end of the day, like I just feel like he was more suited for Dallas just because of what Dan Quinn could have did with him, and he wouldn't have had him playing so much. I mean, he would have been like that veteran leadership to kind of get our guys going. Like who we got, Damone Clark. You know, we got Micah, we got Sam Williams out there. Like he would have been a great vet help for us, which is what I was kind of expecting. But I mean, of course, like you said, at the end of the day, he's gonna go somewhere where he's gonna get a lot of time. Philly needs him. He's gonna get a ton of time, but I just want to know how he's gonna fit that scheme. So it'll be good to see how he works out for the rest of the season, in my opinion. But I mean, we could either dodge the bullet or, you know, we could have missed out on something special. So I hope we dodge the bullet.
I mean, we'll see what happens there. I mean, it's another banger this weekend. We're gonna have Philly and Dallas. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Who wins? I mean, honestly, whoever wins, like I'm gonna lean into they win the NFC East. I mean, so that's gonna be big. So Dallas undefeated at home, so that could be huge for them, you know. So
yeah,
and it's gonna be one of those things, right? They need a marquee win, right? Because a lot of people have been bringing up.
Yes, but my thing is, this is that okay. What we've done until this point is great, mind you. We always somehow look good up until this point. This is where I need the Cowboys to turn the tide. This is where we got to turn over a new leaf. This is where Dak has to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? He has to be the it guy. Like everything starts and finishes with him.
Don't tell Jeff that. Don't tell Jeff that now.
I don't care what Jeff got to say. I'm speaking for every Dallas fan knows. Mid-December, in all of January, this is where we need to be great because this is where we always falter. This is where we always fail. Someone always fucks up. Someone gets hurt, or we just start losing to like terrible teams. This is where we got to play at. This is where our best ball got to come. We gotta be Philly, or we got to get one from Buffalo, or we got to get from Miami. I want to come out of this thing 4-1, 4-2. Like that's how I'm asking it. If not, we're not going nowhere, bro. We just a hype team we're just a brand new car on a used lot that somebody's gonna get lucky with, bro. Like we're not doing anything like that. This is where his career lies right here. I don't care what nobody say, how they say it. This is where that career lies. If Dak can't win two out of the next 3 games, like he has to beat 2 of these teams. Like we've already, you know, we had a good one last week. I'm telling you, because this is a gauntlet, bro. The Lions, these are all playoff teams. The Lions, possibly the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Eagles.
The Seahawks game was close. I mean,
it was, and to think that there were no punts in that game, bro, is crazy. We let a lot get away. Deron Bland, bless his heart, like he was living that high life, you know, and he needed that. He definitely needed that. In my opinion, he needed that game. That has to be a wake up game. Yes, you're turning into a great DB, but don't start smelling your shit.
Not defensive player of the year, people. Just so you know, he's not defensive player of the year. Respectfully,
yes, because it's not a pretty stat for cornerbacks. Like, yes, he got a lot of picks, but the games are not won and lost with him. Yeah. Like, I think guys like Bosa, TJ Watt, Parsons, Aaron, you know, those are guys like if they're off the field, your team's losing. Like, absolutely. Like, if TJ Watt is taken off that field, we're not even speaking of like the Steelers. If Nick Bosa comes off of the 49ers, I mean, with all due respect, Fred is great, but he's not doing the same impact as Nick Bosa. So you gotta look. I look at it like that. Those big guys up front really demand that much attention. So to me, those are my MVPs on the defensive side, best defensive players in the league. So
yeah. All right, and before we go into the next topic, guys, I just want a reminder, like we say every week, please like, share, and subscribe. We truly appreciate it. Join the conversations. If you're ever joining us live, hop on the fun. If you want to ever leave a comment, the guys will be happy to comment back. You know, just start a conversation. If you ever want to hop on, hey, always down. Just send a message. We'll be down to have a debate. Alex, we saw the game between the Packers and the Chiefs Sunday Night Football.
That
We've
was crazy.
we see the rise, according to Marco, the rise of Jordan Love in as becoming a franchise quarterback, and we're seeing the fall of the Chiefs. With the bad drops, questionable calls and no calls. What was your overall reaction to Sunday Night Football between the Chiefs and the Packers?
First is Jordan Love played pretty good. I'm not gonna say he played amazing. He did have some good plays. I mean, overall, he still has the same thing, struggling with the same thing that I saw at the beginning of the year, was with overthrows and missing some guys at times. But I mean, you get that, right? It's his first year starting, so I told Marco, he's for him to say like he's the next guy. I'm not gonna say that because he's still struggles sometimes. That big throw where he like ducked it over, that was I don't think that was a good throw. I don't think that was a good throw. But the DBs just didn't fucking turn around and make a play on it. But other than that, man, they as a team, man, they played good. I said at the beginning of the year too, whenever they played the Bears, that Green Bay team, whenever it's healthy, is a top 10 defense. Like Rashawn Gary, like all those guys, man, like they'll put pressure on you. And the Kansas going to the Kansas City side, man, they're down bad, man. That receiver core is bad. I mean, it's missed throws. So I'm not gonna say it's missed throws by Patrick Mahomes. I just think that it's clear as day that they're not in the same headspace. They're not thinking the same receiver and Pat. One's thinking another route, and they think they see zone coverage, or Pat thinks it's in man, and I don't know. They're just not on the same page, and it looks bad.
Yep. James, how did you feel about the game, man?
It was amazingly shocking because I feel like as long as you got Patty and
Travis
Swift.
Oh, he took up her name. Oh shit!
Oh my god! I'm just poking fun. Nah, but yeah, I feel like as long as you got them two, man, like you're never truly out of a game. But to allude to what Alex said, like it's just you can tell, man, it's not there. The communication's not there. The receiving core is just not. If it's not drops, man, they're not getting open. Patrick is kind of really having to leave the pocket way far more often than what he usually does. You know what I mean? I think they should give Pacheco a lot more love in the run game.
Oh, they did.
He did well. I mean, he did good. But I'm just saying, like the receiving core is just not, dude. It's not getting done. But I also think, to me, as much as people thought they wouldn't, they're missing Eric Bieniemy. Like as much as people want to say, like
Alex,
all you need is Andy Reid and stuff like that. No, Andy Reid is a great coach, but a coordinator like that guy was scheming up stuff. Like you don't see no use of Jared McKinney no more. Like you're not using all of your backs, your receivers, or like. I mean, Nico needs to be schemed, bro. Like, he's speed. Use him with his speed. Like, Scanlon has to catch the ball. And
like Nicole's on IR, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, but, dude, when they got him back, he was healthy, like, before he got hurt. Like, my thing is just, like, you have to use more of your guys. Like, Sky Moore, that whole play where he didn't even attempt to help with the interception. Like, dude, it's bad. And you can tell, I think Kelsey might be on his way out, man. Like, truthfully speaking, these injuries are adding up, and he's fighting through them. They're not winning. The success is not there. So I'm pretty sure he's leading toward retirement.
He is 34. He has a very successful podcast with his brother. Yep. He's kind of met the love of his life. Yep. That's not something for him to joke about right now, especially at his age, where he's probably just like, you know what, man, I'm kind of feeling like settling down. These injuries get naggy. We saw it with Gronk. He retired twice. We saw that the injuries, that mental game with it, that that could take a toll on you.
And he kind of said it. He was like, I have been thinking about it, but he's like, I'm not 100% sure. But he said, I have thought about it. And I mean, you just think of it. He's already won a bowl. He's done what most tight ends haven't done in his career. He's looked at as one of the best to ever do it. He's in a conversation. He's in that GOAT, that Mount Rushmore with Sharp and Gronk and Tony G, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just. I mean, what else do you have to play for? Like, I understand you want to keep going with Mahomes because he's one of the best to ever do it. But, hey, it's time for them to start looking to revamp that team.
Alex, I know you've been saying that it hasn't really been Eric Bieniemy missing that, because they had the same guys last year and whatever or not. Well, I mean, explain overall why you don't think it's the fact that Eric Bieniemy is gone, even though now it's Matt Nagy inserted as the OC for the Chiefs.
Well, obviously, everything that gets called has to go through Andy Reid, right? So that's one part of the reason. But like, look, man, I said it before. Whenever Patrick Mahomes came into the league, you saw these great numbers, and I said, man, they're eventually gonna have to pay some of these guys, right? So like we saw Hill leave. Now some of his offensive line is not there, and the more weight is on Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying that he can't do it, but bro, it's a tough
task
to do. Like Marco was making fun of Justin Fields last year because he couldn't throw, and I told him, bro, watch the game and see how hard it is to fucking throw the ball and catch it. He can't do it. So that's why I said, like, bro, Patrick Mahomes needs to catch it now. Like, bro, it's tough, man. Like, bro, if you can't trust receivers, it just makes your offense looks bad, bro. If you put up 20 points on fucking the Chiefs, your chances of winning is really big. Like, honestly.
Before you had to put up 28, 31 points just to like even compete. Now you just get 20. You're like, oh, I think we're okay.
But do y'all look at it this way? Like, I feel like the league has kind of honed in. I won't say honed in, but like people have just made better adjustments towards playing like the likes of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and kind of Joe Burrow. Like, you know what I mean? Because before, like, when they came in as rookies in that 1, 2, 3 year, they were kind of just on fire, bro. They were just bombing everybody, just bombing, just gunslinging everybody. But now, after a while, you started to figure out, like, you started to see the tendencies. You started to see things shift. People get hurt. Players get traded. Defenses get a little bit better. Like, because Mahomes is still Mahomes. Like, he's still making it happen. He still got the magic. But I'm just saying, it's a lot harder when you do lose somebody like Tyreek Hill. And then on the Bill side.
James, here, real quick. I'm just going to disagree with you real quick on that, because here's the thing, too. Like, yes, you have teams that feel like we figured out Patrick Mahomes. We figured out Josh Allen. We figured out all these guys and stuff like that. Yeah, but there's also a big key factor in coaching. Right. Yeah. This is why I feel like with the Eric Bieniemy thing is so huge, because I could tell Washington fans are like they're 50-50 still on Eric Bieniemy, right? Like they don't really know because Scary Terry is not going off as crazy as he should. But you see Curtis Samuel, you see Jahan Dotson, you see all these other guys, like they're getting the ball right. It's getting spread around a lot, just how in the past it's been for KC, right? You've never had that reliant one guy. Like last year, it was Travis Kelce and a bunch of like, not to be mean, scrubs, right? Like it was a bunch of guys that were on the roster
just today, role player.
Yeah, and the ball is going to everybody, right? Like Pat is using his feet. The play calling is a little different, adjusting. And I feel like it's more on the coaching side, right? Because once you start losing these offensive coordinators and these offensive lineman coaches and all this stuff, like those minute details, that's what gets figured out, James. Because look at Josh Allen. In the last 2 years, he's really regressed. What's happened the last 2 years? He lost Brian Daboll, the guy who really turned it up for him and taught him to really be a precise, accurate thrower of the ball. And now you see the last 2 years, he already has 28 interceptions within the last 2 years, and we're not even done with the season yet right now. And Patrick Mahomes, same thing. Now he has 10 interceptions this year, and he's without Eric Bieniemy, and he's only played 12 games.
Yeah.
Seeing these little key, minute details, those
Yeah.
coaches took with them, and it's not the same when you replace them with guys who came from underneath them. They're not like
Oh yeah.
they're learning, but they're not there yet. Like Matt Nagy, he was chased out of Chicago despite taking them to the playoffs twice and being coach of the year one time. He got chased out of there, and he's not the same kind of guy as Eric Bieniemy. He cannot make Rasheed right away. He can't make Kadarius Toney, and his inability to be mature to really step up and catch the balls. He can't fix a second round bust in Sky Moore, right? We see it in the run game because I think Alex can agree. Matt Nagy was really good with the run game in Chicago, and we see Pacheco, who ran 110 yards, who's been a key factor for the Chiefs this year. He's been their second best weapon of the team.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that.
Or arguably the first. If you feel like Travis Kelce's really regressing, the best weapon overall, and you see the rise there. And look at what happened at the end of the game. Pacheco throws a stupid hook. Why are you hitting the helmet? And two, why are you getting yourself ejected? So you just cost yourself and your team your valuable key ass, and that hurt on checkdowns to move the ball closer, and not have to rely on a Hail Mary at the end of the game.
Yeah, which is true. It is. I mean, and I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. Like those little intricate things mean everything to players. Like it just does. You just see. And to speak to what you even said, like you saw how great Daniel Jones became. Not great, but you saw how better he started to improve once he got Dayball. And like you said, you saw how many interceptions Josh Allen started to create because that one thing is missing. You saw how fluid the Chiefs was. There wasn't a big penalty team. They were a fast, nice offense. They were fluid. You always knew they was going to create some type of magic. And now you see Mahomes having to kind of create that on his own on the fly, which is different for them. So I think, man, it's just, like I said, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy how these little things happen, and these guys play slightly different, but they're still elite.
Going back to what James said about like have teams figured out Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Joe Burrow, I really thought like the past couple games is that teams have figured out how to defend Kelsey, honestly, because they've I don't think I've ever seen them like bracket him so much in a season, and you could tell, man, Travis is getting like really like he gets pissed, and that just shows like, man, the other receivers need to step up, and it's, yes, you could say Travis digressed a little bit because sometimes he's not winning his one-on-ones in the middle of the field, and whenever he does make those big catches, it's because Patrick is scrambling around and somehow
play breakdowns.
Play breaks down. Travis works himself back to the ball, and that's where you see those big gains from Travis. And he's not winning his one-on-ones right now, and the defense kind of, I would say, like kind of figured him out and kind of like bracketed him better. And I do think like Matt Nagy does have to do a little bit with him, because I think if you put Travis on the line like an 11 personnel instead of having him out wide, where it's a little bit easier to bracket him. So I guess you could say that that's kind of could be like where Matt Nagy scheming Travis to get open.
You could tell with the last play of the game, right? Because you could argue it's a bang bang play, right? But you can argue that Travis Kelce got shoved and held down to make sure he didn't get full extension to reach for the ball. But he was so like over it that he didn't even complain. Like that's how you could tell like he's annoyed and pissed. Like at this point, it's like fuck it. I mean, what's the point? So I don't know.
With that team, and it's just like that team is just like this, and I think this is what people really spoke of when Tyreek left. Like what was going to happen? Who's going to change? Who's going to switch up? Who's going to produce? And who was going to be that next guy to help them out? And I don't think no one thought Juju was going to be it, but you figured he would kind of stay within the team to kind of like better himself. He was in a better situation versus going to New England, but it was just I mean, KC, they got to figure it out, man. They got to figure out. They got to get somebody else. They got to bring somebody else in. They should have brought Odell in. That's really what they messed up at.
No, D-Hop. That's what they
Or
messed up.
we had one of the two. They should have brought one or two of those guys in. They should have really made a splash to try to bring one of those two guys in, especially for the sake of Patrick. But I mean, they'll figure something out. Somebody's gonna have to be a free agent this year. So,
hey, if Travis he goes, man, there's a few wide receivers out there that'll be available. So I mean, we'll see. And obviously, they need to re-sign Chris Jones to a long-term deal because you know he's free after this year. So that's another key factor. If you lose him, man, bro, you really should. You know, you're really putting Patrick Mahomes and Marco, you know, goat talk all the way down. Papa.
We're gonna see how much of a fan Marco is. Is he gonna ride with him while they lose?
You kind of saw it, right? Whenever Chris Jones wasn't there, the impact of the defense, like Detroit just fucking walked all over him, and Chris Jones comes back and immediately makes.
I don't want to be a dick and say walk all over them, but they only won by 1 point. Okay, just to be fair.
Well, I'm talking about the offense. The offense
in the run game, they held complete control over that game.
Monty,
they did whatever they wanted to do in that run game. that was crazy. It wasn't. I mean,
and then if you
go ahead,
if you want to talk about the penalties, that game. I mean. The late hit on
out of bounds.
Patrick Mahomes. Yes. I think we see that too often with Patrick Mahomes, but
soft
for
call.
for anybody to be upset with the Green Bay fan. I mean, with the Green Bay pass interference. It's clear as day, but then like Jose, I was gonna say the exact same thing what you said on the thread. Bro, you can't complain about that if you got one call right before that.
That you shouldn't have gotten. You wouldn't even be in that position if you hadn't gotten a call that you shouldn't have gotten. So that was my thing on the thread. Marco was like, "That's good, DPI." I'm like, "Yeah, and that was clearly not illegal contact or unsportsmanlike hit."
But
whatever
you know what I will say? I'm completely done with that call. Like, I feel like we need to have better judgment-based call on not just a quarterback, anybody who's running out of bounds. Like, if you slow up and that person is running out of bounds, that needs to be okay. If you see that defender slow up and that player slow up, okay, that needs to be taken. But if you see a guy coming full speed and continue to follow through with the impact of the hit, then that needs to be a penalty. Like the body slam on Devontae Smith by Dre Greenlaw, bro, linebackers do that all the time.
You was trying to take him to Suplex City, bro.
I mean, but linebackers do that all the time. That needs to either be called so players know not to do it, or it needs to be like, okay, it's allowed. But guys are doing this stuff all the time. So it's just like, dude, it's just I'm sick of that contact call where they're just like, and it'd be like the smallest of stuff. Even when the defenders are hitting the quarterback in the backfield and it's just a push or they lay on them or whatever. Like, dude, it's bailing some of these teams out and it's ruining some of these games, man. So
yeah, James, we kind of talked about that last week about how Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers' injuries kind of led to those calls being soft as fuck. We talked about it last week, so yeah. I mean, we don't really gotta rehash that, but I mean,
right.
I mean,
thanks to Brady his blown out leg.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers broken collarbones. You know, that's why the full body shit can't happen. But moving on, because I think we don't need to talk about the Chiefs and they got the Bills next week, so that's gonna be a really like critical game, kind of for both sides, really. So we'll see how that goes. For the Packers, they're still trying to make a playoff push. Don't know if it'll happen, but we'll see. They look good the last 3 weeks. College football playoffs, gentlemen, is set. Ooh. With the number 1 team being Michigan, staying undefeated on their side. Washington, number 2, undefeated as well. Texas gets the number 3 spot. And Alabama, roll tide, gets that number 4 spot. Alex, you're the college football expert of this group. talk to us about your feelings on those 4 teams being selected by the committee and the undefeated FSU squad getting left out.
So, dude, I mean, the committee got it right with the best 4 teams, right? Right now. But you cannot deny FSU's undefeated season. I understand they don't have their quarterback. But you can't deny the resume they had. They beat 3 top 25 teams. I had no idea that they were gonna be this good. And bro, if I am an FSU fan, I'll be super pissed. Like they did the same thing to Ohio whenever their quarterback went down, and they still gave them, you know, the berth to the playoffs. And man, it just sucks, man. You wish that the new playoff format would have been this year, then not till next year. But it sucks, man. I know Michigan's not a big fan of playing Alabama because, like I said, Alabama's probably one of the hottest teams in college football right now, and they are scary good.
Hey, I'll say this right now: they deserve it. That little cheating asses probably deserve it. Just saying, you know what I'm saying? They probably, they got that. You don't got a freaking coach on the other side, though, motherfucking stealing sides now. Like, you kind of deserve this hard round, bitch.
Do you think that was like purposeful by the committee
to put Alabama to punish Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh man, as soon as I started thinking about it, because Michigan, they should get punished other than just Jim Harbaugh getting suspended, right? Like I was like, damn, bro. Like I hate it. Like for me, I hate it for the FSU players, right? Because a lot of those guys, they're not coming back next year.
Yeah,
and that there's no guarantee next year they would be in this position again.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, it's like, fuck, bro. This is
just devastating, man. It really is.
Like even if you got your ass whooped in the playoffs, at least you can have the right, like the feeling of like, yeah, we made it. We had a chance, and it's all you're asking for especially when you go undefeated is a chance.
Yeah, I mean, because you just never know, man. You never know. Like that's what I love about college football. Like you can have a juggernaut, you can have a dominant team, you can have everything filled out, but you just never know, man. It's like it's just when you step between those lines, anything can happen. So I feel for them, man.
And I think I saw too is that TCU effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because TCU got in, and they're like, well, what's really TCU really about? They really didn't have one of these big name quarterbacks, and they ultimately got.
But they made the championship game.
Yeah, they got demolished, right? And nobody kind of didn't really want to see TCU.
Yeah.
So I guess FSU really got the bad end of the stick because of that. But yeah, man, it should be interesting. I think Texas is a really dangerous team, man. They might be Texas, Alabama all over again.
That's what I think. I'm thinking that. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
We can get Texas, Alabama round 2.
I've been really round 3 the last 2 years. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And you know what I think is crazy? At the beginning of the year, everybody was shitting on Nick Saban. Just shitting on Nick Saban. Oh,
Alex
done.
was
washed.
you, Alex.
Yeah,
he's done. He's washed. He can't get it done. They don't got no more talent. Everybody's doing a portal, blah, 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 blah. He's complaining just because he's not winning no more.
He's on Pat McAfee, so he's going to retire.
He just sit back and got to work, man. And nobody believes in the quarterback they got right now. Nobody believes in him. He got benched. He came back due to injury, and then he started playing phenomenal. He's not looking as great as he probably could be, but the kid is balling, and they're getting the job done. So you got to get – I just – big shout out to Nick Saban in Alabama, because I don't think no one ever even put them in this position to be here. No one probably picked them. No one said they were going to come this far. Neither did Texas. I didn't think Texas would be this good. I really didn't. I think we lost a lot of people, like defensively and on offense, and I didn't think we were going to be as good as we was last year. But these kids are, man, hats off to these kids, man. It's good to see different teams and stuff like that. That's one thing I did hate about college football. It was always repeated. Same top dogs all the time. So it's going to be a good one, man.
Guys, let me know right now because obviously we can definitely talk about it when the week before it happens. But let me get into it now. What does Michigan need to do to upset Alabama? And I say upset because let's be honest, the SEC is still the best kind of like conference out there, right? Like they still have the toughest motherfucking shit. And Alabama went in there and they kind of like put the beating on Georgia.
Hey, did you see what Richard Sherman said about the SEC?
What did he say?
What did he say? Trash. He said they're trash. He said it's the weakest conference in America. He said every time they step outside of the he said every time SEC teams don't have to see each other, they get their ass whooped outside of conference. So he was thinking completely different. Keyshawn was like, that's everybody. Everybody plays non-conference teams and loses sometimes. But it was crazy. He was like, outside of Alabama and Florida State, he was like, everybody else is trash. It was just funny. I thought that was hilarious.
It's crazy because he went to the SEC. He played for Stanford. Oh no, never mind. He was Pac-12. He went to Stanford.
He was Pac-12.
Yeah,
he went to Stanford. But I don't know, man. My thing with Michigan is I think when Michigan plays well, they introduce their run game early, and then it's kind of like play action after that. That's when, and then I think they live off of their defense. But I don't know. For me, it's always hard to see a team be successful without their main guy, which is like their head. Like if Harbaugh isn't there, that's going to be a tough win, man. You're asking a lot of these kids.
Harbaugh's there.
Okay, because I was about to say if he's suspended, man, that's going to be a tough. Like when you can't look at your coach and you don't know where he's at, but you still getting communication with him. That's hard.
Nah, he was there when they rolled Iowa.
Okay.
So he's fully back. Like he's in the clear.
Cool.
On his
I don't
side.
know, man. I took my hat towards experience, and I'm gonna just go with Saban. I think Bama continues their hot streak. I think they upset them because I feel like Michigan is the best team out of everybody. But I feel like it's gonna be an upset if Bama wins and takes care of these guys. If Bama win, I expect it to be like a low scoring game. I expect them to win on defense.
Hey, Alex, what does Washington need to do, man? Because Texas is rolling too. Like, I mean, both sides can do whatever. Quinn Ewers, it could be his last year. He could have next year coming back in Texas. But I mean,
I don't want him to come back. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I don't want him to come back.
I know. We want Archie Manning out there.
We want Archie.
I know Alex don't want him, but Alex, talk to me about Washington. What do they need to do to like stop Texas from coming in and giving them that one loss?
I think they're gonna have to obviously throw the ball around. It was effective in Oregon. The run game opened that up for them against Oregon in the championship game. But I think it's gonna be really tough for them to run the ball on this Texas team because this Texas defense is miles ahead of what the Oregon's defensive front seven is. Crazy. So it's going to be a tough task for the Pac-12 to beat a team like Texas. I always made fun of the Pac-12 teams because it's a no defense league. I always said. Besides Washington State. I think Washington State usually has some good DBs and Utah, but yeah, man, it's going to be a tough task for Washington to beat Texas. Other than that, man, I think Texas might win this whole thing. So,
all right. So early predictions right now: James, Michigan, or Alabama?
Bama.
Alex.
This game is a little bit tough for me, man. It really is because
you don't want to see Bama. You don't want to see Bama, do you?
I'm from Big Ten country, so like. I've known a lot about Michigan, and this Michigan team could fucking run the ball. So
if they win, it's gonna be based off of that. That run game is gonna open that play action up, and that's how they'll keep control. Their quarterback got some wheels. They got a tough running game. That's why I'm with you on that part. But I just, man.
But James said, man, I think I'm gonna have to go with with the old Yeller, man, you can't deny what Nick Saban has done over this past. And I will,
What
and
a
I've been
nickname! What a nickname!
and
I know what you're setting that up for. And little Johnny, you're gonna have to take the old Yellow to the back real quick behind the shed.
no, but like
Put him out
you
of his
can't
misery.
you can't deny what Nick Saban has done, man. And I've been one of the top, I guess, haters on Nick Saban this year, of calling him like a crybaby because the transfer portal kind of fucked him up this year. But dude, what he's done with that roster is crazy. So I'm gonna have to pick Nick Saban. And Drewski. Did you guys see that video of Drewski at the Alabama game?
All we care about down Bottom is America and Roll Tide.
Oh my God,
that was hilarious, man. That was too funny.
All right, I mean, so we're thinking is what, Texas, Alabama national championship. That's what I'm hearing, right?
Alabama. I'm praying for Texas, Alabama, but because I'm no big college ball guy like Alex. I watch it sometimes. I tune into the games. I don't know a lot of names, a lot of players. I just follow Texas. I follow Colorado due to Coach Prime. I'm a bandwagoner. So, but I really, really, really would love to see Texas back on that platform, man. It's been a long time coming, bro, since Vince Young and those glory days. So,
okay, so I want Texas to win because I don't know if you saw after they won the Big 12 championship and the commissioner got booed the fuck out because they're leaving for the SEC and he has some choice words about Texas, and so the fucking crowd booed the fuck out of him. So I don't want them to just leave the Big 12 with their title. I want them to leave with the national title. I want him to leave and stick it right to his bitch ass.
Yes, that'll be beautiful. That'll be beautiful. That's gonna be. Oh, I can't wait for that, bro. That's gonna be so dope for Texas.
That's gonna be a huge game. So, guys, I asked you, and we're gonna move on to the next segment. Yeah. Again, guys, like, share, subscribe, follow us, like all the good shit. We need it. We love it. Join the conversation. All the good fun. Puro Pinche Sports. But next up, I asked y'all to do a list. Did y'all make the list? Did you text it twice? Okay, well.
I didn't make no list.
Okay. Well, get your phone, look at the standings, and just figure out Alex, did you make the list? Did you make a list?
The top 10.
Your top 10, like how you would rank them. It's basically like a power rankings. I don't really do this, but I see a lot of other podcasts do it. Like, it look like a lot of fun for them. I don't really want to do it weekly because that can get, too much for us because we are a 6-man group and that's just too much talking for us. But for one time right now, I wanted to see who your top 10 teams were. If you want, I can give you a minute, to. So yeah,
I'm ready.
Okay, you got it. You ready? Mm-hmm. Alex, you think you got yourself a list there?
Yeah, I have mine. All right, let me just pull it up.
All right, cool. I'm gonna pull up mine right now. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, whether it's live or on demand. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or watching on YouTube, we really appreciate it. So, James, did you want to kick it off? Did you want to name your 10 best teams, or how did you want to go, bro?
All right.
And you know what? Let's go from bottom up. So let's just do the first 5. So from 10 to 6. Alex, do you have fleas? What's going on?
No, it's my dog.
So
just give me your 10 to 6, and then we'll get Alex's 10 to 6 and then mine.
All right. Well, let Alex go. Let Alex go first.
Alex, you got yours? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
All right. With number 10, I mean, they've been having a pretty down year, but I'm gonna go with Buffalo. I mean, you still got Josh Allen. It's still. I think it's still. How you say, debatable, I guess, if you could still see them as a top 10. Maybe a lot of people don't have them a top 10, but I'll have them a top 10 because they got Josh Allen.
Okay.
And then at number 9, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars. I know their record's pretty good, but they're still a young team. This might surprise everybody, but number 8, I'm gonna go KC.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the KC, and then uh, number 7, I'm gonna go with the Browns. I think that defense is still lethal.
Damn,
And then number 6, I'm about to go with the Houston Texans.
Okay. Not mad at that at all. James, how you feeling? You got yours?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
shit, what I do? Hold on. Oh, shit.
He's out here deleting shit by mistake.
Yeah, actually, I messed up, bro. I almost deleted some of my fat fingers. Okay.
Let me know when you're good.
All right. So mine's going to be a little shocking, probably to most, but
Okay.
I got 3 teams in one division that I got on here. But number 10 is Indy. Prior to some of these drastic injuries, I think they've been playing very good ball. They've asked Gardner Minshew to do a lot, but I mean he's been doing a little bit. But they've been winning. They've been successful. Like they put the ball on the ground. They've implemented both running backs. Pittman's been consistent. Their defense is playing lights out. And I think they're a very good number 10 team. They probably can squeak in the playoffs if they keep up. I think they're low in my opinion, but these guys are balling, and they got one of the best young quarterbacks in the game, and that's Houston at 9. Like,
Okay.
CJ Stroud is still amazing. I hate that they lost Tank Dell for the season because them two were like, man, they were exciting to watch. But that defense is still, man, that defense is crazy. Number 8, I got Jacksonville. I don't know if they stay there because what happened to Trevor, that ugly play, man, I hate it for them because they were really rolling. They were getting things done. You know, Calvin Ridley and Travis, they were just they were balling. Number 7, I got KC. Even with all of their woes, I still think somehow they'll pull it off. They'll be in the playoffs, and we'll just see how much of a run they can make. And one of my most favorite exciting teams to watch is coming in at 6, and that's Detroit.
I like it. I like it a lot.
My 10 through 6.
I like it a lot. I'll start with my 10. I think it's one that is real shocking because they're coming on the rise, and it's a team that I picked to really like stand out for the playoffs, and it's the Green Bay Packers. That's my number 10. I mean, they've won what now 3 straight. Now they're 6-6. They're making the push be real dangerous, and they're getting it together at the right time. Right, right now. This November, December is the time when you need to be making that change.
It's time when you want to win, man. That is true.
So right now with 5 weeks left, I have them at number 10. Number 9, I do have Jacksonville Jaguars. Even with the time that Trevor Lawrence has been playing, I'm not saying that he's been the most outright spectacular player out there, right? He's not even in MVP conversations, but if you lose him, you lose a lot. And this team is still 9-4 right now.
Oh yeah.
They are in need of him to stay alive and stuff like that. Or is it 8-4? I forget the record right now, but I have them at number 9. Number 8, I'll have the Texans. I would like to have them higher. I think CJ Stroud is the runaway rookie player of the year and arguably a top 10 player today, top 10 quarterback today, I should say. I think the world right now of that team, and I really hope for that franchise that they finally have a team moving forward to really solidify as a playoff run. We thought they had with Deshaun Watson, maybe now with CJ Stroud. The future of Tank Dell. Hopefully, next year he goes back stronger and better. Will Anderson. What's the other player? Why am I thinking?
Mr. Harris?
What's Harry? No.
Harris?
No.
Offense, defense. Offensive defense.
Defense. So that's what I asked.
Start with an S?
DB. Damn it, Alex, you know this answer.
Derek Stingley?
There you go.
Wait, what'd you say? I didn't hear you.
There you go. Stingley. There you go. Fucking, that's who the future for the fucking Houston. Brain fart, bro. I'm tired. Thank you on that. Number 7, I have the Detroit Lions. Obviously, they started really hot this year, really good, and it's just the last couple of weeks you're kind of seeing the cracks in the armor of that defense. They started real hot. I think it was like 21-0 against the Saints this week, and then they let them back into the game. So I'm really worried a little bit for Detroit. I hope they can find their rhythm back. Obviously, the Monty Gibbs duo is still one of the biggest factors. Laporta, Amon-Ra. So I hope that they can find their groove and still keep it up, and not the defense with Aiden Hutchinson leading it not fall apart and let teams come back on them. And number 6, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of how y'all feel right now. Obviously, now they have 4 losses in the season. It's really rare for them to have it this early into the year. It's going to be a lot of questions for a lot of people. Will they actually still make it to 12 wins this year? With 5 weeks left, we shall see. But Patrick Mahomes and them, I have them right now at number 6. Alex, do you want to give your 5 through 1?
Yes. You guys are going to be kind of shocked because y'all named the team in your top 10 already, and I don't even have them in my top 10. So number 5, I'm going to have to go with the Miami Dolphins. And then number 4, I know they beat one of my top, other team that's ahead of them, but I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles, just because like I said, man, that defense is scaring me. That defense is scaring me. When you play a tough team in the playoffs, it's probably going to get exposed. And then number 3, I'm gonna have to go with the Dallas Cowboys. And then number 2, it's the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Baltimore Ravens got thrown by the 49ers this week. The 49ers showed when everybody's healthy, they don't play around.
I mean, it definitely helps when you got your quarterback is making less than $1 million.
Yeah, it does, right? Yeah, well, you can have big names at other positions.
It's like, hey, Brock, do you mind taking $800K so we can pay everyone else? Oh yeah, sure, no problem. James, go ahead with your 5 through 1.
So my 5, I got Miami coming in at 5. I feel like they've done exactly what Dallas has done, but nobody's actually talked about it. You know, they've beat up on subpar teams, and when it come time to play the big dogs, they showed a little bit of weakness. But they're still rolling. They're still putting it together, I would say, because I think what's going to help them win in the playoffs is going to be more so their defense more than their offense. Offense is scary. It's a lot of speed everywhere, and that's when they get healthy and they get everything rolling. And you're seeing them piecing that together with using Mostert and A-Chain together, and then you got Waddle, you got Chosen, you got Hill. So I like what they're going to do. They're going to be scared come playoff time, but I feel like they're just piecing it together. So I got them coming in at 5. Baltimore, I had them at 4. I mean, losing Mark Andrews is tough, but man, their defense is, dude, they're flying around, and Lamar secretly just keeping them in games and they're getting it done. So I got them there. I got Dallas at 3. This is a big week for us, and it's these next coming weeks, so it'll show. It'll show whether we can really pull it together, with these tough plus 500 teams and these playoff contenders. If we can continue to do that, we'll continue to move up on the list. But I got them at 3 behind the Eagles. The Eagles I still have up there. They took an ugly loss, but they're still dominant on both sides of the ball. Still got great coaching. I feel like they'll bounce back. And them black Air Force One wearing 49ers coming in at number 1, man. The dudes are scary. I don't know who the hell allows these guys to keep getting mid-season additionals that just shift the franchise, but somehow they just keep pulling them off and plugging these guys in, and they just keep getting scarier and scarier with, just I feel like every position is filled. top to bottom. So I got them guys coming in at number one after beating the breaks off the Eagles.
Yo, someone needs to investigate with Carolina and Washington. You're supposed to trade your best player out of the conference, right? Not in the conference.
Out the conference, bro. Completely out.
Number 5, I completely agree. Both of you, the Miami Dolphins are number 5 for me. Just like what you said right now, James, they have not yet defeated a team that is above 500, but with the ones that are sub 500, domination at its finest. I think the big return of Jalen Ramsey is huge for that defense. Obviously, not the same level of cornerback that we know him to be, but that experience, that man is just still dangerous, and you see him affecting plays so much. And then, like you said, when you have speedsters like freaking Hill, Waddle, Achan, Mostert,
Dude.
you are not worried about shit. Tua is one of those guys up there also right now in the MVP conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Along with Tyreek, both of them have earned their rights to be in that conversation. So we'll see how that goes. At number 4, for the same reasons I just gave the Miami Dolphins, it is the Dallas Cowboys for me. The Dallas Cowboys, just that one notch. Now the only difference is they have they win against a plus 500 team, but not really. Kind of, Seattle Seahawks. They made them 500. So, but that was a gritty game, and we've seen how impactful their defense has been this year, even with the absence of Trayvon Diggs. We see how important that team is on both sides of the field. The run game is still their weakness, in my opinion. Tony Pollard is not that guy. You're not going to find it in Rico or Deuce Vaughn. You're going to have to grit it out without really relying on those guys. So Dallas is right now at number 4. If they can get this win over the Eagles.
You said it earlier, and I'm mad that we didn't really go for it. I really wish Dallas would have made that splash to grab Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro!
I also don't think the Titans would have done it. To be fair,
you don't think so?
No, Derrick Henry's he's one of those loyal guys.
Yeah,
he'll ride until they get rid of you.
Yeah,
and Titans are kind of like that mom and pop shop. It's like, well, we really don't want to get rid of you. So, but I get what you're saying. That they might have been, if they had an enticing offer, that maybe that could have happened. Something like that could have happened. But we'll see how that goes. At number 3, it's the Philadelphia Eagles for me, the reigning NFC champs. Biggest weakness is their secondary. It's been one of the biggest questions for them all year. It reared its ugly head this week with the Niners freaking just walking all over them with the yak from Debo, with the yak from Kittle, Ayuk, CMC, all that shit. So we'll see how they can turn it around with the last few weeks of the season. But at number 3, it's the Eagles. At number 2, I have the Baltimore Ravens as well. Outside of really a huge passing weapon, with Mark Andrews out, OBJ constantly getting hurt, Zay Flowers being a rookie, you can't really put too much pressure on him like that. This team is otherwise an overall fantastic team. From the defense, from the offense, Roquan Smith fucking smothering the fuck out of everybody. A guy he is talked about, but not really talked enough about possibly being Defensive Player of the Year, because honestly, I don't see the Ravens being this dominant on that side of the ball without him. Now, obviously, they have losses where they've given up leads and, the other teams come up and it's the defense not stopping them. But otherwise, you see this team on both sides of the field most of the time, and they cooking. So we'll see how it goes there. But number 1, the Black Air Force Ones, the San Francisco 49ers, the boombox and Debo with Trent Will. You just cannot deny that they are the best team in this league right now, and that anyone that sees them right now, be fucking afraid. Be very fucking afraid, because that there's not a matchup you feel like you can win. Like, dead ass. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to all the players that have been successful in this league.
Nah, it's not disrespect. It's the truth, bro. Like, you got a multi-dimensional guy at running back and wide receiver.
Yep.
And then you got a Swiss Army knife at running back that can also play wide receiver. Like, dude, it's crazy.
No, I completely agree, James. But that's our power rankings, guys. It's not gonna be a regular thing. Go ahead, Alex.
So before we go away from this segment, I just want to cover my ass whenever people say, "Why you didn't have Detroit in yours. Here's mine,
Oh
right?
yeah, I didn't even hear you. That's
So,
right.
so Detroit at the beginning of the year, I think wasn't in my top 5,
Yeah,
but they've been kind of scaring me in losing these leads to these teams that shouldn't really be in the games with them. I understand Chicago's what's it called, divisional game, but like they could have really easily lost that game up until I think the last 3 minutes of the game, and
right.
then last week they gave up a big lead, and then I know people are going to say, well, you have Buffalo in there. The thing is that I trust more Josh Allen than I do
Jared
um,
Goff.
Jared Goff, right? And in the sense that I know Josh Allen's been throwing a lot of picks, but I feel like some of the games that they have lost, I don't think Josh Allen has had the ball where like has a chance to win the game. I understand. I think they lost the game where Josh Allen um, threw it to the wrong side where Gabriel fucking split to the left where he should have went right.
Yeah,
They could have won that game, but and against Philly, but still like that's why I don't have him there. And then another thing that probably people would say is, well, you have Cleveland in there. Yeah, but I know they don't have a quarterback, but that defense has won some games without even having a quarterback in there. So that's why I would have them in the top 10.
they've had 4
Uh,
quarterbacks to be fair. Just for
yeah,
everybody to understand it, they've had
and
Deshaun, DTR, um, PJ Walker, and Joe Flacco. They've had 4
and they
quarterbacks.
and they find ways to win. I know they didn't beat the Rams, but uh, to me, man, I think that's still one team that you wouldn't want to play in the playoffs. Understandably, they don't have a quarterback, but that defense could really easily win them a game.
True.
But that's at the end of the season, I'm sure I'm going to have Detroit in there. They're probably going to Buffalo might miss the playoffs, and Detroit's going to make this.
It's going to take a huge blunder from Detroit to like possibly even lose the division, right? Because
Yeah.
I know Packers and even the Vikings, they're both 6-6. They're right up their ass.
Yeah.
So it's not crazy to say like, oh man, they can come steal the division. I mean, they could fight and make a threat. The Lions are in a position they haven't been in decades, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
They're 9-3 leading the division. They don't know what that is. Your parents don't know what a 9-3 Lions is. Let me tell you what about that. Okay, so I think that's where it's like, can you keep the lead? And that's the thing, right? You kind of see it in game. Can you keep the lead? Well, can you keep the lead in the standings? So I understand, Alex, why you have questions about Detroit and why not so much Buffalo. But for me, for Buffalo is those turnovers. While not every turnover has cost them the game, a lot of those turnovers have. Like we can't forget he's had 4 or 3 interceptions in a game, and it's truly cost them. We can't ignore that Buffalo's also lost to a New England Patriots who doesn't belong to be in any conversation other than draft capital. So that's why I wouldn't even touch or sniff Buffalo, because they're losing to bad teams. And that's the thing too. Like Denver's a bad team. I don't care what the fucking last 6 weeks have been. They are a bad team. Patriots are a bad team. That's why I don't touch the Buffalo Bills at all. So that's what we have for the power rankings there. I had a draft that I wanted to do a redraft, but I kind of want more of us to be involved with it. So
That's why I was excited for that part. When I saw that one, I was like, hell yeah.
Me too.
I couldn't wait.
I feel like we need a minimum of 4 people for it, and it's just like that's where it sucks. Because I mean, 3 could be fun, but it's an odd number, especially with 32 picks.
Let's go with some names though that you think were hidden gems in that draft class.
Well, I'll save it. I'm telling you, like I think if we do a redraft of it, it's gonna be so much more fun because we're gonna get guys that were like hidden gems in that 5th or 6th round, or even undrafted, and then it's like, nope, they should have been first. So I want to save that. Because I really want to see like if everyone paid attention to those players' careers. Because 2018, that's the year we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Like that's a beautiful draft year, and that's where 5 quarterbacks came out, and only 2 have stood out since. I mean,
God, bro,
you looking it up right now? You looking it up right now?
Oh my God, it's dude. Oh, I'm excited for this, bro.
Yeah, so So we'll save it for a time that makes sense. But Alex, we had a blind rankings last week. James, I don't know if you saw it. We had a blind rankings of a franchise quarterback for the future. Did you watch it by chance?
I watched it, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of have something like that right now to replace this situation. So we're gonna do it. So let me see if I can get this properly right because I want to do it for the intro for the TikTok.
Okay, can I just say how upset I am at the Dallas Cowboys? I'm looking at this fucking draft.
Is that the taco one? Was that the taco year? No, it wasn't.
No, this is a Vander Esch year.
Oh, yeah.
Good Lord.
I'm glad the Bears got Roquan, but at the day of the draft, I didn't want him. But I think he fell.
Yeah, bro, that's the same way I felt about Michael Parsons. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted Patrick Surtain. Luckily, we couldn't get him. And I wanted J.C. Horn, and we couldn't get him either. So Michael was our only hope, and he turned out to be a fucking dog. So I'm happy. But, dude, I'm just like, we took Leighton Vander Esch. We could have had one of the best centers in the game in Frank Ragnow. We just missed Jair and Derwin. Oh, my God.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking
names. We could have got Calvin Ridley.
Oh my God! Calm down, boy. Come on, calm down. Like, all right, so we're gonna play. We're gonna have blind rankings. We're gonna have a blind ranking, rookie wide receiver.
Ooh, this is gonna be hard. Oh my God. Okay.
So, I hope y'all ready for this. Alex, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Let me start with an easy one. That's what I like to say. Zay Flowers.
I'm gonna go number 3. I wasn't even high on Zay Flowers, honestly. So I'm not gonna be afraid to admit that.
Yeah, no. 1 through
This
5.
is top 5?
Yeah, it's wherever you want to put them. It's 1 through 5, but you don't know what name is coming up next.
I'm gonna go 4 because he had a slow start.
All right, respectable. Jordan Addison.
Ooh. I'm gonna go number 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2. Jordan's been balling.
Okay.
I know there's another rookie that's been balling out way more than he has, and I'm afraid you're gonna give me him.
All right, Trey says 3. He says 3 for Zay Flowers, and he was like, "I was all in Zay Flowers' ass."
Yeah, he was. At our draft day, he was a big Zay Flowers fan.
Yeah. All right. Tank Dell.
1.
Damn, this is why I hate you, Jose. I'm gonna say 4 because there's still one more rookie that's better than half of these guys. More than half of these guys, I want to say.
And James, where did you have him?
I'm going 1.
Okay, cool. Rashee Rice.
5.
I'm gonna go 5. Bro, I swear, if you give me this other fucking receiver, I already know who you're gonna give me at last.
Puka Nacua.
Oh fuck! I forgot.
Hell yeah!
I don't know.
Let's go.
Oh, dude, he kept saying it. Oh my god.
1. Number 1.
Damn! I can't believe I forgot him. I cannot believe I forgot him. And he's at 3. That's not bad. He should have been 1. And I should have put Tank Dell at 3, and then I should have put Tank Dell at 2, and then Puka at 1. Yeah, that would have been it, I think.
So y'all kind of y'all could have really had it close. So the reason I picked those 5 rookies is because they're leading the league for rookies in receiving yards.
Yeah.
And then we go in order. You know, Puka Nacua over 1,000 yards already. Tank Dell at 709, and this is before, you know, obviously he goes out for the season. So great year for him. Jordan Addison at 3, Zay at 4, and Rashee Rice at 5.
Yeah.
Notable names that didn't make the top, obviously, listings there would be Josh Downs, who was at 6, JSN, who's at 8, but obviously JSN is playing with 2 wide receiver ones. With Tyler Lockett's decline is really showing right now. So you're also seeing the rise of JSN right now. So he can squeak up there in the top 5 now with Tank Dell being out for the season. But and obviously Quentin Johnston, who is the bust of the first round. Alex, tell my nephew to chill.
That's not me.
No, that's my daughter. She's going crazy.
All right, tell my niece.
She's going crazy.
But yeah, that was why I wanted to give a shine to the top 5 guys right now to see, especially with Tank Dell, because I feel like obviously we're not gonna be able to talk about him much later on this year. So I wanted to give him his flowers, like, hey, bro, you're one of the best rookies out there. And it was showing.
I have high praise for him and Puka, man. For one, Puka came out of nowhere. Like, it just assumed a number 1 role and took off.
Yep.
Even with Cup coming back, he still maintained that level of professionalism to still go out there and be ready for when the ball comes his way. So big shout out to him. And then even more flowers for me for a rook, because Puka's playing with an established veteran quarterback in Matthew Stafford, who's a gunslinger. He's going to give you the opportunity to be great. So that's just that. But for CJ Stroud and Tank Dell to build that 1-2 tandem, man, even when knowing people are going to kind of key in on them too and still be able to make plays, that's like amazing, bro. So I'm proud of the Texans. Like, I know we spoke big about them on draft day because how they made moves, but for them to come out and even just be playing this well, man, like, shout out to Houston for finally getting something done the right way, and I just hope they can not fuck this up. Like,
hey, what a little spark of Dameon Pierce making a touchdown this year, right? Because he's been super quiet this year. He has been a non-factor for that team. With Trevor Lawrence going down, and it's a high ankle sprain, so I think he's going to be out for a while.
At least 4 weeks.
And I know the Colts have the same record as the Texans. I think the Texans, this is their chance to steal the fucking division. Like this, like if CJ Stroud wants to have that really like echelon of MVP conversation, if he can steal the division, oh my God, bro. The glazing you're gonna hear about CJ Stroud for the rest of the year and off season. My goodness.
And they can really be a scary team to play for any one of those powerhouses in the AFC because they have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. They're young, inexperienced. They have a great coach, but they are all inexperienced.
Yep. They are on the rise, and that's good for Texas football. And just to go with Trey's answers, he had 3 for Zay. I believe 4 was for Jordan Addison. 1 was for Tank Dell. 5 Rashee Rice, and then 2 for Puka Nacua. So those are Trey's answers. Guys, I really don't have any much more to talk about tonight. If there's anything else y'all wanted to share, please go ahead before we close it out.
Man, I'm just happy. College playoffs, Texas, bring it home. Can't wait. It's a big time of the year for football, kind of closing out the NFL season, closing off from the cap on college football. Basketball is going to start heating up, so I'll start paying a little bit more attention. Man, it's been a blessed year, man. So I'm happy. One, to be a part of the show, be a part of PPS, dude. I love y'all boys. It's fun getting on here, shooting the shit, having like-minded friends, talk good sports, being, good vibes and all that stuff like that. And it's just a good time of the year, man. So yeah, that's my alarm.
Going to work early? Goddamn.
It's just a good time of the year for sports, man. So I'm excited. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited.
Nice. Alex, anything you want to say before we close out?
Like James said, man, it's one of the best times of the year right now. Christmas is around the corner. College football is about to come to an end, and in the NFL wise, you're starting to see these teams come into their own, and the playoffs about to start heating up now, and you start to see these key matchups in like the Dallas versus Eagles this week. That's gonna be a good game. Kansas City versus the Bills. I'm excited. I know Jose, you might not watch the Pats game, but I'm going to be watching. I'm still going to watch.
James, if you're free Thursday, let's talk some basketball. I don't know. I ain't trying to watch Mitchell Trubisky versus Bailey Zappi. Good fucking hell. No. Hell no. Did you see the shit that we look? The Patriots might have a top 5 defense. I might tell you right now because they've held the last 3 teams to a total of 26 points and lost all of them. Hell, and they're still. And that's like a top. That's a top. You know what? That's the number 1 defense in the league. That's the number 1 defense in the league. And the number 1 offense is number 50. You know, I'm comparing. They're worse than XFL teams. That's
wild.
To rebuttal that though, who were the quarterbacks last night? You never know, man. You might get one of those games.
Hey, man. Caleb Williams might be coming to New England. I'm just saying that now. You know what I'm saying? You know what, Alex? I really hope y'all don't move on from Justin Fields. I really hope you get Marvin Harrison because I want the best quarterback coming out the draft. I want that shit coming to me. I got the number 2 overall pick. I know you are. No, what the fuck? He ain't even gonna be top 10 pick, motherfucker.
He probably won't be a top 10.
He's not even projected in the top 10, bro. He's not even like I'm dead ass. Like I don't even know. Like
yeah,
I think that's a little disrespectful. Maybe I don't know enough college football, but it's still Caleb's show. I know, James, you were really high on Caleb Williams last year. Yeah. I still believe you are now.
Oh yeah, I'm still high on him. Shit, that man's a gunslinger. If he can get with a Dayball or the enemy type coordinator.
Hey, Brian Dayball. Ask for a trade, become the new head coach for the Patriots. You know, I'm just saying. You know, if we got.
Hey, okay, wait. I know we're coming to a close, but is it true that y'all will move on from
Bill?
Go Belichick? Billy?
I think it's Robert Kraft. I think he's had. You gotta understand, bro. Like Tom Brady's his son in his heart, more than his actual son. Tom Brady's his son, and he had to watch Tom leave because Bill said it's time to move on and watch Tom go win another title. And we have made the playoffs once since then, and we got our asses whooped. And now we're 2-10.
Yeah.
So and you're not just my coach, you're my GM. You're the one who put this roster together. I don't care if you get me the number 1 or number 2 overall pick. Robert Kraft's mine, right? It's time to move on. Like, respectfully. Because he needs 29 wins to surpass what? Who was it? Shula?
Yeah.
So you're not gonna do it in New England because that would require at least 7 wins next 4 years, and you can't even get 3 right now. So and then that's what? He's 72. So we're gonna take him all the way to 76 or 77 for him to break the record. Fuck no, we can't do that. We can't wait on that. Respectfully, like that's what I'm thinking. Robert Kraft is thinking because he ever since he bought the team in the mid 90s, they've gone to the Super Bowl like 11 times since he bought it.
Yeah,
right. We're talking about the Green Bay blowout too in '96. Yeah. So he is impatient as fuck. Yeah. Right now, he's giving Bill enough time, and it's
he's giving him time. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't say you didn't get time to try to like construct what you wanted to. You went out and pitched. I still can't believe y'all spent down there $150 million on fucking 2 tight ends. That has.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Judon was the best pick of that when y'all spent $60 million on him. But that
and he's going to be gone next year because this was his last year. So we don't even have him. Christian Gonzalez will be our best guy. Look, and I'm not even worried about our defense because you're seeing it right now.
Yeah,
they're not letting anyone get past 10 points. Justin Herbert couldn't get a fucking touchdown to save his fucking life. Like, what are we talking? Like we're not. I'm not worried about the defense side. Yeah. Obviously, it'll be different once Belichick and his son and all them leave. Like, I don't know if Gerard Mayo will stay and stuff like that, but it'll be different. But we need change. The league is now becoming more offensive centric as much as I love defense. And we're not keeping up.
Yeah, that's true.
So It is what it is, and I guess that's, ladies and gentlemen, that was my rant. That's what my last words for the podcast for tonight was letting it out. You know, fucking a season for
Black fingernail polish to New England. Go
Caleb. Hey, what I've been saying? What have I been saying, James, since week 1? Tank for Caleb. Dun, 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 dun. Tank for Caleb. Dun, 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 dun,
That's crazy. What if, dude, you gonna be so hurt come draft day?
And they go with an offensive lineman.
Oh God, y'all better not, bro. If y'all don't get a skill position, I swear to God. Oh my God. If y'all don't get a skill position.
Dude, someone at work today was like, "You're gonna get Michael Penix Jr. Bitch, with the number 2 pick? 6th season Michael Penix Jr.? What?
Bro.
Oh hell no. Okay, well I can't keep going, guys. That was fun. This was fun. This was a good time. Guys, thank you for watching. We're live on demand. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Follow us on at Puro Pinche Sports on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, on X/Twitter at Pinche Sports Pod. For Humble Hater James, the Professor Alex, and myself, Jose Garza. We are Puro Pinche Sports, and we are out. James, I think the Cowboys are going to win this weekend. Oh, my God.